You're my only audience right now. Let's see. Cartoons. Well, uh, all right. How's my audio being captured? What's it sound like, Connor? Does it sound like I'm talking to you from? Oh, okay, so it's picking it up from here. I just don't see in my sources list where my audio could be coming from. Hello. Okay, well, I guess I won't play around with stuff like that anymore. um, don't mind me just moving this over here.
How the fuck are you still alive?
Hey, don't mind. Things are about to get real crazy here. Hey, Bailey. We just hopped over to the just chatting category. We're not playing Call of Duty right now because there was something that I've been meaning to record. Let's find it. So, on my TubeTube channel, one thing that I made an upload on was how to learn programming and the intention of it. What OBS? I'm using Streamlabs. The intention of it was to learn something new, but also to learn something that could eventually be used to change careers, change jobs, maybe pick up freelance work. Um, and the way that started was I thought, well, hey, maybe I'll learn Python. And that'd be cool. I could learn Python. I still am intending to learn it. However, Brandon told me that probably the easiest thing for me to do would be to learn JavaScript. So I went onto the Learn Programming subreddit as you can see here. This guy 12 days ago put up a pretty great 5+5 step self-taught computer science curriculum. Um, he puts a lot of background into computer science in his curriculum. For example, his introduction to computer science. The Harvard CS, I believe it's 500 through, I don't know what the number is, but it's CS 50X in his post. That's very popular. Let's check it out. I know I've seen it a lot in the Learn Programming subreddit, where it goes through the introduction to intellectual enterprises of computer science and the art of programming. So it kind of talks about the background of, where is Pretzel at? Because it's not playing, but it keeps saying that it's playing. All right, you're paused now. It just looks at the architecture, I suppose, of computer science. I haven't looked into the course. It's something that I intend on looking at some point. However, it's not at the top of my list. So when I was looking for a program to follow, it's not in here, but the Udemy class that I ended up downloading for free. I mean, not downloading, but signing up for. Let me move this over so you can't get my login information. I know you want it, but you can't have it. It was the Complete Web Developer in 2020 Zero to Mastery course. It's probably going to start. No, it's not. Hey, Haley from Udemy. You can go away. And the author, his name is Andre. Where's his name at? Andre Nagoe. However you pronounce that. Let's Google him because he had an article that he published. Become a web dev. Let's just type that. It wasn't on here. It was on his blog. And the blog that he posted, here it is. I feel like it kind of set off this entire like movement of his, this entire brand of his. I think that that's what I read. But I started to read through this and it seemed like something. Oh, we have to watch that. That's important. That's very important. That right there, that's the whole class. Ineffective robots playing soccer. But the way that he spelled things out seemed to be very doable. Let's scroll. He goes through JavaScript, all this fun stuff. So he proposes that you can learn it in 5 months, step by step. He wants you to go through this Harvard course. I wonder if that's the same one. Yeah, it is. But he's, I mean, look at this. It's just very resource rich. Second month, you jump into JavaScript. Then you build on your website. Then you learn React plus servers, databases, connecting all the dots, blah, blah, blah. So I looked into that. I read that article. And then I realized at the bottom that, well, dang it, he's just trying to sell me a course. Because when I clicked on this, I thought, ain't no way am I paying $29 a month to take this course. But on Udemy, or Udemy, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I think it was only $10 actually. So I spent the $10 on the program. When I was looking for programs, or courses rather, one thing that I was looking at as my like qualifier for whether or not it's a course that I want to take was how long the course was. I mean, I'm sure that there could be fluff in there, and some of the lessons do seem somewhat fluffy, um, but that's something that I was using as a determining factor for the quality of it. So I downloaded a bunch of them. There's some that I want to start and work on even after I finish this one, such as the complete front-end web development course by Joseph Delgadillo or Delgadillo. That one was another course that was featured fairly heavily on Learn Programming. Beyond that, this guy, the 5+5, they feature a lot of math-heavy learning. That's something that naturally scares me as somebody who took like 5 math classes in college and they were all the same one because I kept failing them. However, something that's very prevalent in programming, especially machine learning and the data science world, it's very math heavy and really statistics heavy, which statistics is another beast on its own from math, and it seems to be one that's a lot more understandable for myself. Beyond that, he moves on to algorithms and data structures, and then basic computer architecture and systems. I feel like step 4 should probably be step 0.5. But that's just me. And then he has this extra group of 5 steps that goes even further into the niche of what's an operating system. How does that work? Language and compilers and whatnot. So I read through this guy. I read through Andre Negui's blog, and then I've been taking his Complete Web Developer in 2020 course. Before then, I had started working on Python and just learning Python. I hopped into the Odin project. It didn't really keep my interest for long. The actual Python language website, they have a pretty extensive tutorial and the documentation for the language. And one thing that I got caught up in, let's see if I can find, I deleted or uninstalled a bunch, but one thing I got caught up on or in was downloading so many different IDEs. So I have PyCharm, which is really good for Python, according to the internet. I had Notepad++, which didn't seem like a very in-depth text editor. I mean, it does what it does. It's just a text editor. I don't necessarily know if it's a IDE. Beyond that, that's all that I kept. But I ended up landing on Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code seemed to be very intuitive. It was clean. It was nice to work with. There were some IDEs that were just so focused on being this open source, bare bones text editor that they weren't very usable for me. I'm someone who's new to this world, so I need guidance and I need help. And just throwing me into a text editor or an IDE wasn't really helping. So I have a couple files, HTML files that I started on. Trying to find my favorite. Where are you? Oh, here's my website. And this is one that I followed along another tutorial for. We'll open it up in Chrome. And there you go. I think this is the first one that I worked on in Andre's class. Learning the different elements of HTML and where things are located and whatnot, and how to operate, or not operate, but you know, where things go. Where's a header? Well, it's at the head. Where's a footer? It's at the foot. Simple things like setting up these lists and inputting this image, and having this image have hover text. For me, was surprisingly you had to kind of work around it. It wasn't something that HTML seemed to just natively include, unless I'm missing something. But I kind of had to get on Stack Overflow of all places just to figure out how to like put a text in a hover text. Alt text, which I think is important for I was about to say the CDC, the ADA, I think, Americans with Disabilities Act. So maybe not, but it's important because you can get sued for websites not accessible. Things like these collapsing lists. That was a fun thing to learn. Those are your details with the summaries. Property, is that the right word? Things like hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. This is fun. I had fun making this. There he is. There's Vincent. Hand sanitizer containing at least 75% alcohol should have a bacteriostatic rate of 99.9%. Anything less is worthy of the utmost contempt. Once, I read a package that said kills up to 99.9% of most bacteria. As if they're going to slip it past as a consumer that some Escherichia or Pseudomonas made it past the bouncer because they're cute. So that's where we're at. And the reason why I'm recording this right now is that a few weeks ago I had made a post on YouTube just talking about my intentions for building a website or learning Python at the time. And then as I continued to delve into it, I found that it would probably be easier for me to learn something a little maybe simpler, such as web development, and maybe simpler as an understatement or overstatement. Here's another website that I made, Life in the Wild. And when I say made, I mean I followed a tutorial, but when you hover, they expand. And I know it seems like very elementary, but when I coded this little website and was able to code the where is it at? Code the CSS file in such a way that the Nightbot, he got timed out. Code it in such a way that these expanded using Flexbox. Wow. Oh, Nightbot got you, Connor. What did you do? Oh, you said noise. Yeah, coding this in that CSS file and then watching it happen on the website, reflect on the website, that was very exciting for me. I know it seems kind of goofy, but you know, it's fun. And let's see. Let's just change this to blue violet. watching something like that. So you see here, that's pink. Ah, it's blue-violet now. It seems simple, but being able to do something like that was very satisfying for me. Um, and then the margin at the top, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to change it so it's closer. So that's what I've been learning. That's what I've been doing. Um, this is real simple. Could be used as a very simple portfolio if somebody's involved in the photography world. Besides that, it's just something that I can say I did and I worked on. So that's the progress that I've got so far. And that'll be the end of the video. I'll keep streaming, but I'm going to stop the recording, and then that'll be what I upload to YouTube.